Hey guys, it's Kaya. We are working on something new today. It's gonna kind of feel like you're jumping in midstream, and that's kind of because you are a little bit. I was trying to record this earlier, but the gremlins were leaving, and this isn't normally a filming day for me, so it was a little crazy. But I'll just like kind of catch you up. So I have these two glasses. They're from Dollar Tree. Just any type of plain wine glass. You can even use ones that you already have. And I've got them on my turner machine, and I painted them white with acrylic paint. And now this is just plain 99-cent Walmart acrylic paint. You can use any color that you would like. It doesn't really matter. I'm using Apple Barrel brand, but you can use whatever brand you like. It's up to you. Any color. And I just did a quick little coating on it. You can see you still see some brush stroke, but I mean you really can't see any glass, and it'll all be covered up in mica, so I think I'll be okay. This is kind of just my little try it Monday. Is it Monday? Yeah, try it Mondays. So anyway, I've got my glasses dried now. I've got my 2-part epoxy mix. I mix those in equal parts. Stir them together really well. Let them sit for a minute so the air bubbles will come to the surface and pop while I decide what colors that I'm going to use. Oh, Julia already picked our colors out. We are going to use deep blue and copper. And these are just a set that we got off Amazon. They came with like 24 colors, $8. We will put the link in the description below so that you can pick those up if you like. I will say I really like this set, and I used most of the colors that came with it. I think there's only a few colors left, so I would say that it was a pretty good buy. This was my first like set of mica powder, so now I know what to look for, but I would totally buy these again. I just like the shimmer, so probably next time I'd pick up some that had a little more shimmer. So I'm going to mix my mica powder into my little mixing cups, and then we're going to start drizzling it on to our wine glasses. So let's move this so that you can see. You see these lovely boxes over here? I'm currently like working in what we're calling box mahal because we are in the middle of moving, so you'll have to ignore that. But I've just got a little bit of in that cup. Can you still see that? Yeah. And then we're just pouring a little bit in this cup, and I am reserving a little bit of that clear in that container. And then I've got my mica powder, and I'm going to take my popsicle stick and dip it in, and like literally I'm just using the end of that popsicle stick, not a ton. That's really all you need. A little goes a long way. And just mix it in really well. Ooh, this color is really pretty. It's really pretty. You want to make sure you scrape the sides. You don't want any powdery residue. That's unmixed because that will not mix in later on. And I'm going to do the same for the blue. Oh my gosh, that blue is gorgeous. That blue is gorgeous. And same thing, scrape those sides down really well. Break all those little clumps up. Now we're going to go ahead and get started. So first I'm going to put my little finger condoms on, or you can wear gloves, whatever you prefer. Just wear some kind of personal protection equipment. Epoxy is not your friend. If you feel comfortable wearing a respirator, please do so. I'm not going to debate epoxy with you. I'm just going to let you know what you should do. I got my finger condoms on. Bam, we are protected. Always. Protection is important, people. So for my clear that I have left over, I'm actually going to add a little bit of the big chunky flakes and put that on in my base layer. That way it'll already have some glitter in the mix. And you just dump it right in there and stir it up. Okay, we're ready to epoxy. So pick a glass, any glass, or if you only spend one, you know, work on what you got. And we're just gonna start rubbing the epoxy over that paint. Now I will say, I noticed that the acrylic is a little easier to like disturb, I guess, than the spray paint. So I mean, I prefer spray paint, but it's cold. Ain't nobody gonna be spraying outside in the cold today. Here in Indiana, it's like snowing and stuff, freezing rain. Ain't got time for that. So just go smooth that epoxy all over. I'm gonna mix up a little more of that clear. Because you want it coated, the top, the bottom, the stem, everything. And I usually just mix up, you know, one decent sized batch and then just distribute it into smaller Dixie cups. That way I'm not constantly making little batches of epoxy. I can just move quickly through my project, pour it into my cups, and go and do multiple projects in one big mix. And I'm just making sure to get all the surface of that glass. And leaving no area unexposed. All the way up to the rim. Because what happens is if you don't take it up to the rim, then the epoxy can separate. And water will get in there and it could grow bacteria and other stuff like that. So you always want to make sure you cover your surface completely down to the rim, top to bottom. And I'm going to do the tops of these glasses here, and then I'll also do the bottom side. Do all over the stem, up to the base of the cup here. Same for the other side. So I saw this post come across one of the Facebook groups I'm a part of. I'm a part of a few different glitter groups, so I'm not really sure which one it is. So I'm not even going to call them out. But it was really beautiful. And I've seen a few of them. I actually haven't done an epoxy wine glass yet. So this should be fun. I haven't been crafting because I've been kind of sick. The gremlins caught the flu and I took care of them, which means, of course, I caught the flu. So everybody's just been recovering, and I've just been trying to craft and get ready for my holiday vendor event. And I thought that this might be something fun to offer. Who doesn't need a good holiday drinking glass? You know, a beautiful one. That way when your sister-in-law is getting on your nerves, you can totally just start guzzling and nobody will actually know how full your glass is, whether that's wine, vodka, or brandy. Not that I would have a sister-in-law that would make me want to do that in case either one of mine are watching. You guys are a joy to be around. I've never experienced this in your presence. But anyhow, we've got our epoxy on here. It looks great. As you can see, it's all over the surface of that glass. Everything is coated. So now I'm going to give it a quick blast with my heat gun to make sure that there are no bubbles. And I'm just going to do that on low temp. And it just removes the air bubbles that are in the epoxy and gets it ready to start swirling and heating it up so it will move the way you want it to once you put your other epoxy on. I think there should be 3 colors. I might have to have Julia come pick out one more. Maybe we'll see if we can get her on camera. My wife is a comedian, and she does clean church lady comedy. So we just got done filming one of her videos today, so she's still in costume. So I don't know if she'll show y'all, but I will certainly try to get her to come on. Hey, Julia. We need another color. And I think that my crafting friends would love to see Mother Irma and her full costume, and maybe they will go check her out. You know, you need... Oh, Jesus, y'all. Y'all ain't ready. Okay, so now I'm just going to take that epoxy and drizzle it on. Just stripes, however you want to do it. Doesn't have to be perfect. And as my machine rolls around, I just hit it different areas with the epoxy. And I'm going to do that all the way down the stem. And I'll show you how you do the base here in just a second. You can do as much as you want to. If you want more blue, more copper, whatever color you choose. You can make one the secondary color and one the accent color. I'm just drizzling that on as it goes around. Less is more. You can always go back in and add more. Okay, so we would first love another color. Secondly, they would love to see you.
You're right. I had to put on my good hair. Excuse me.
Okay, how do we flip this around?
I just got it fixed. I don't think you can flip it around.
Oh, okay. Whoa.
How y'all doing? I had to put on my good hair. And my new, you like my dress? It's new.
No, they don't like that, Mother Irma.
Okay.
Jesus, y'all see what I have to do in? Okay, anyway, babe. Now that they've seen you, check her out. I'll put the link in her page too. But now that they've seen you, could you pick out another color to go with your color scheme? So that'll work. So now
I'm gonna get these. This I'm gonna be the envy. And won't these make a nice thing at my Thanksgiving soiree?
Yes, Mother Irma is going to be doing a Thanksgiving show, her first like live stand-up. So this may be something that you need, Mother Irma.
Yes.
And so you just drizzle that color on however you want it. I'm choosing to do the top part first. You can start at the bottom, wherever. And just make sure you get down on the stem, on the base part where you would hold it. Do you think so, Mother Irma?
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm drink out of these. This is beautiful.
Your outfit was lovely.
Now wait a minute, this is a wine glass. You know I don't drink no wine.
Well, Mother Irma, we don't have to tell people what's in it. Let them think you're a rebel. Okay, so let me show you how we do the ends. So you just take, same as we were doing, just drizzle out to the side. And as it comes around, just put a little strand like that. And you'll just do that for both colors. And it'll just kind of move. Okay, so super simple.
This is beautiful.
Oh, thank you. So here in just a second, I'm going to do the blue for that base. Then we'll apply our heat. And see where we are for the swirl. Thank you for picking our color. We appreciate you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to mix in that third color real quick. And then we'll do our heat. And then we should let it spin. They come together quick. The longest part about this is letting them spin, really. I have heard that there is quick cure epoxy that sets in like 2 hours, but I haven't tried that yet. If you have tried it, please let me know in the comments and let me know what you thought. I'd be curious to see how it worked. I know they have like UV and stuff like that, but those are expensive and the bottles are tiny. Sorry, people. Now I'm gonna have to play pick-up sticks with my popsicle sticks.
Turn it, yeah, so the people can see.
Okay, so now I'm just mixing up that turquoise color that Mother Irma picked out. And I mix my mica powder in there, and I'm just stirring it up, making sure I scrape all those edges. You don't want a bunch of loose powder in there because they won't get dissolved into that epoxy. It's not like pancake batter. We'll just cook out the lumps. It doesn't really work like that. So you want to make sure you scrape those sides real good. Okay. So now that we've done that, we're just going to go back to drizzling the way that we were. And you'll just get those in the in-between spots.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And you just do little drizzles, light drizzles, heavy drizzles, whatever you prefer. It's up to you. You can do them crazy, not crazy. Once they swirl and you apply the heat, they'll all look different anyway. Okay. Now I'm getting a little too crazy, Lord. Also, it is winter here in Indiana, so let me mention, if it is winter in your area, your epoxy likes it to be warm. My epoxy temperature likes it to be about 70 degrees. That's normally what temperature my house is anyway, because the gremlins act like they're freezing. So, I mean, that's not a problem if your temperature is not that warm, or you work in a drafty area or an outside she shed. A small space heater in your area, not right up on it, not on your table. I would recommend on the floor or something like that.
Well, no wonder why I'm having a hot flash.
Jesus. Anyway, a small thing in your area will be helpful, and it'll help your epoxy to cure correctly. Otherwise, it may stay sticky. It may never set. It may set too fast, but not swirl the way you want to. So just keep that in mind. So now we're going to go in with our heat gun again, and I'm going to start off with a blast of high temperature and then lower it and just kind of go in between high and low as I work the epoxy the way I want it to go. And you just want to keep it about 1.5 inches away, not staying in one spot too long, just going back and forth. Just applying heat in different areas, and like I said, I'm going to start it off on high and then I will move it down to low. Use one. Oh, there's high. You just want to get the epoxy moving, and then you can go back in and add more if you need to, or less. Well, I mean, you can't really do less unless you scrape it off, but we've all been there. Sometimes if I make a mistake, I will wipe it off with a baby wipe. And then reapply clean epoxy to that area in front of it. So make sure that you're blowing that stem also all the way down to the bottom. You want the bottom of your glass to be blended also. So you know, I started on low by mistake, switched it to high, and then I moved it back down once I started to see it move. And I mean, you can see it running and mixing all together. So now I'm going to do the other glass. I'm going to blast it with a little bit of high heat all the way around, and then move it back down to low. And make sure to get the stem on both sides. And I really like the way that turned out. I like that color combo. And you'll kind of see it move down to the bottom. And it's going to look like it's going to settle right here in this spot. But what happens is it will keep working its way all the way down the stem until it's dripping off the base. As you can see here, it's dripping off my base. So eventually this base will be covered all the way because the epoxy will just keep working its way down. So that's what we have for tonight. We'll see how it turns out. I'll post the final product in the little thumbnail and in the beginning of the video. I hope you like it. If you like it, leave me some comments, questions. I am happy to help where I can. And we hope you have a great evening.